Hello everyone, uh, welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Professor Dr. Muhammad Tajuddin, and for today's video I would like to make a comment on the recent furore over the intention of not bringing back the examinations of the UPSR as well as the PT3 in the sense of a standardized examination. Now for this video, I will be asking the question, is standardized examination still relevant in the new era of a global online economy as well as a global online education? Now many people seems to be against the idea of eliminating this examination, but here I will present some questions about its relevance, and also finally my suggestion of how we can actually resolve this situation in a more critical and more progressive manner. Now there are 6 reasons why I would like to discuss about the relevance of this standardized examination. Now we must understand, first of all, we started with standardized examination because of what I call an industrial economy, meaning something like training people as well for a worker or for working. For me, it is like training a slave. A slave is supposed to be skilled in one particular kind of work. If you're working in a house, this is the work that you're going to do. If you're working in the field, these are the various work. So you are trained in this skill, in this manner, and because there are many slaves, therefore the learning is very strict in terms of very standardized, and also the evaluation is also very strict. Now here we are already having to see the change in the world in terms of education, information, in terms of economy and relationship, and the change of power balance in the world. Everything has changed, and yet many of us still cling to this idea or the old idea of this kind of standardized examination. Now, first of all, I find that people who are against the elimination of this examination are from the rich side of society, meaning they are wealthy. They are wealthy enough to send their children to tuition, to buy books upon books of exercises upon exercises, and we can see the differences between those who are have-nots and those who haves in terms of their qualification. If this examination or standardized examination was supposed to be a fair platform for everyone to be judged in a just manner, then I don't think so, because it is clearly being more inclined towards the rich, where they can afford extra education and thus reap the benefit of getting their children better grades to go to so-called better schools. And also we also have this idea of elite schools, which I am totally in disagreement with. So as long as we still have this kind of elite school, most of the parents are very concerned about how their children can go to these elite government schools, and so it's a competition. I think this is not the right way of looking at education. For many years we are looking at education as competition. Why? If you have 100 people going through an institution, for me all 100 must get an A or must be successful. There is no idea of failure. Failure is only when the educator themselves fail to impart that knowledge. So examinations to me is not about the student, it's about the teachers. When I first came to be a lecturer at UTM, I was taught that the examination is actually the evaluation of the efficiency and the effectiveness of the lecturer to the student. It is for you to reflect how well you have imparted to students who are willing to learn from you. So I've held on to that belief, and all my classes, most of them will 80%, whether they are 100 students or whether they are 10 students, they will either get A minus, or B plus, or the very least a B. I seldom give C's, C minus, or even B minus. It might as well that they fail the class because they have not completed the assignment. Now, I pride myself in saying that if you come into my class, I have my lectures, I have my online recorded lectures, I have my books, I have my writings, I have examples of students' work, previous students' work given. So there's no reason why you shouldn't get a very good grade. And that is my education philosophy. So I don't enjoy giving students C plus, a B plus even, or a B. I want all of them to get excellent grade. So that is why I do not think that this idea of standardized education or standardized evaluation is still necessary, because certainly, as I said, the rich will benefit more. Number two, for standardized education, I find that there are some people giving what is called strategic leak or leakage, meaning giving questions before it's being given to the students in the official sense. Now, my own experience, I have seen one student from a full asrama school or elite school where I interviewed for architecture, and he has an A1 result in SPM English. And I asked, oh, very good, and I was speaking English to him, and he couldn't answer a word. He answered in Bahasa Melayu. He said that he doesn't know what I'm saying, and I said, how can you not know when you got A1 in English? He said that he failed in his trial exam, and then I said, how can you fail in trial exam and then get A1 within 2 months? He said because he got the questions beforehand, and the questions are exactly the same except for certain parts or names being different, and so the template of answering is something that he just needs to memorize. So that's a clear leakage on elite schools that I have found a real life example when I was a lecturer at UTM. Then the case of my wife, who is now a retired teacher. She was given the task of examining English essays, and she showed me 3 different essays of 3 different students whose serial number shows that they are sitting very far away from each other, that there is no issue of copying there, but the essays are exactly the same, word per word, sentence per sentence. How could this happen? How could 3 different person has exactly the same words? Simply because possibly there is a leakage, and then the students will just have to memorize a standard essay that has been prepared perhaps by the teacher. So what's the use of this kind of standardized examination when there are strategic leakage being given to certain schools so that they can always claim they are the best, they are 100% kelulusan, 100% A1 or pangkat 1, that sort of nonsense. The third is that the use of the graph. Now the graph is always a mystery because the ministry never tell us how they do the graph. And so you can see there are information of people saying that the passing is about 20 or an A is about 60 marks. We never know about this. So what's going on? Why have a standardized examination when you are massaging the results and the grading in terms of graphs? I don't understand. But of course, I understand if it is a political will in terms of trying to make certain political party looks good, and so they can announce every time there's a new government, then they announce that the result is always better because of perhaps the manipulation of the graph. Number 4, we now have machines or software or computer programs like ChatGPT, and then soon we have the artificial intelligence, of which the idea of memorization is no longer necessary. We no longer have to memorize a lot of things, unless of course you're studying something like medicine or biology, and then of course it must be up here so that when you are operating on somebody, you cannot be referring to something. You need to know that definitely. But in most other professions or businesses or activities of economy, All you need to do is just ask the AI or the chat GPT and say that I want information about something something. But of course you need to verify some information because the AI doesn't understand false information. Information to the AI is just information. And so that is one of the challenges, that you need to know what the AI is talking nonsense and when the AI is actually providing you with the right data. So the question here is that what is the need for so much memorization? What is the need of so much grading of standardization? Most examination, or what we call evaluations, are supposed to be on problem-based learning. Give a problem and then look at how the problem is resolved or the process, and it doesn't necessarily have to come up with some kind of a positive result. Negative result is also can also be evaluated to be good if there is the circumstances and the context are actually taken up. So standardizing should no longer be there, because we are evaluating humans, or we are training humans. So standardization simply to me makes people to be more demeaning. Some people get F or E or D. Some people get A, and I don't think that's the role of education. People are not made up so that they become standardized. People are made up so that they become whatever they want to become, because they are different and they are supposed to be different. Number 5, now we have the gig economy. You can make money from just delivering on your motorcycle, or sending people here and there in your Grab car, or you can make money from delivering packages for Shopee Malaysia and things like that. I've seen people being able to buy houses with this kind of gig economy. So there is a question about careers and all that. And we also have the YouTube, people making money from YouTube by having a content that is interesting and engaging and hopefully meaningful, that they can be richer than a professor like me, having to work 40 years just to buy a house and to give some education to the children. So things have already changed. We have businesses selling tudung, selling kuih. Even selling kuih raya is already a big business, and it is already eclipsing the traditional salaries of teachers and even professors. So the whole economy is changing, and our way of education, subjects that we teach and standardized evaluation, I'm just aghast at how far we are fooling ourselves. We are fooling ourselves with, oh, we still need standardized examination, oh, we still need this. Now, no, we are asking the wrong question, and we are wanting the wrong things. Okay, standardized examination is not going to ensure our quality. Mathematics and science is not going to actually show, oh, therefore our PISA score is good, therefore we're good. No, it's not. It is about how we use the information superhighway and all that it has, all the big data, in order to make survival for us in terms of, well, if using money, and also to make peace between us so that we can understand one another. One of the big problems in this world is that we mistrust each other, we hate each other, and I think this is the if you were to ask me what is the main role of education, that is it. It is to make us be more harmony with everyone, and this is a very essential part of education, but it is being ignored. We're still asking for standardized examination in terms of wanting an industrial-based economy. The industrial-based economy is slowly going to phase out, and all things are going to be put in some sort of a computer thing, and the robots will build whatever you want to build. Those are the things that we are actually heading towards. Finally, on the 6th is that we have different online, different education providers. Universities, institutions, or specific groups can actually provide the education that you need. You want to be an artist, you want to be a musician, it doesn't have to be through the university. You want to be a doctor, you want to be an architect or engineer, certainly you have to go to the university. But the entrance to the university has already changed. You don't need the SPM anymore. Like the UEC is recognized in other places. And now they have the micro credential in terms of you being evaluated for what experience that you have, the ability that you have. We have also a lot of online education learning. I myself have I am learning few new things from just online education. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's not get trapped by old mindsets of PT3, UPSR, and even SPM. I'm one of those who say you don't need SPM anymore. However, if we were to still accept the standardized examination, it is actually for the evaluation of teachers and schools, not of students. I repeat, if you were to have the UPSR and you were to have the PT3, and I agree, even the SPM is an optional examination. You can take it or you don't want to take it. But if you take it, then it measures the efficacy of the school and the teachers, not the students. Okay, so this is how I look at things. And as I said, I can tell whether my children are educated or not by looking whether they can read, and they can reason, they can do some simple mathematics. I'm quite confident of evaluating my own children in terms of whether they can prosper into the future without having to look at their results in SPM or in the sense of their UPSR or PT3. And all of us need to do that in order for us to have a new way of looking at education, a new way of looking at economy, a new way of growing not only in money, but more importantly in ourselves. Okay, not just to be one person of one religion, but one person with one religion who accept others and respect others. I mean, put that in your so-called examination and see whether you can standardize it. Certainly, you cannot standardize it. Okay, so standardization is a lazy person's way of evaluation. So you put it in the computer, then the computer goes A, B, C, D, and this is the graph, and those are the A's and those are the C's. It's too easy. For me, each student should be evaluated on their own, and then they will be channeled to certain streams that is more appropriate for their ability, and this then avoids the idea of budak bodoh dengan budak pandai. There's no such thing as budak bodoh or budak pandai. If they can come into a certain thing, they're not autistic or anything like that, they're semua budak pandai. There is no budak bodoh. Alright, there is only too many students to teach in a 45 student class, or there is some teachers who are lackadaisical in terms of their teaching, or they are not giving the proper motivation, or they are the wrong kind of teachers to be teaching. This is what I see in terms of education, not UPSR reinstating or PT3. Okay, we have bigger problems. We have to look at the future and the vision of the future, not to straddle and keep with the past simply because it has so-called worked before. Take my word, it will not work anymore. It is irrelevant. Standardized examination of the primary school and even the secondary school, to me, is no longer relevant. Thank you.